It is Lucha Day. Thankfully, it's Thursday. That means it's Lucha Day, where me and Sammy every single Thursday will be reviewing a CMLL show, as well as a Lucha Underground show, and we'll be giving you the Internet Infantry, the Lucha Underground review. The VIPs get both the Lucha Underground review as well as a CMLL review. And if you want that review, just sign up. It's 99 pence a month. Buy Dave Coco's book. That's enough of the shilling. Enough with the shilling. Enough with this bullshit. Do you give this show a win? Do you give this show a loss? Do you give the show a tie?
I give it a win. I fucking loved it. Loved it.
Everyone on social media, they're really putting this show over. Like, I saw lots of people saying this was brilliant. I enjoyed it. I'm not going to say I didn't. I'm just going to go with a strong tie week win. I'm not like, yeah, that was awesome. I don't know why. Something about it I didn't particularly like. It was 45 minutes. It was short, sweet, to the point. Considering maybe it was the idea that I had another 2.5 hours of Lucha to watch, maybe got me a bit bogged down. I did it all in one sitting. So when I got, because during the day I had to go see family, and when I came home, I'm like, oh my god, shit! Like, it was 11 p.m. and I'm like, I haven't watched Lucha yet, and I haven't watched CMLL yet. I'm like, oh fuck me sideways. So I just had to get it done. But yeah, Lucha Underground. So we started off with Dragon Aztecs in the locker room. He's pumping himself up, ready for his match against Pentagon Dark. Chavo then attacks him with a chair. And the way it was shot was that the chair was coming to your head. The chair was legit coming to your head. And it was brilliantly shot, really unique, really well done. Ray then kind of walks past Chavo, like thinking, what the fuck are you doing in here? He then goes and finds Azteca lying lifeless on the floor and shouts, Chavo! Really.
Star Trek style.
It is. It was a bloody brilliant opening segment. Well, it's just every time these segments I find are better than the matches. I generally think that the segments and the stories backstage are better than the matches. And that's no disrespect to the wrestlers in the ring. I'm just saying I prefer it from a story point of view compared to the actual wrestling. I don't know why, especially on this show. Like, I didn't particularly enjoy the opener. I didn't particularly enjoy the Sexy Star Jack Evans match. Well, you know I hate both, so what are you expecting? I did enjoy the main event. I'm not going to lie, I did enjoy the main event. But I feel that the story is a lot more entertaining and fun than the wrestling. Because in WWE, you get good wrestling from time to time, but you don't get the story. So when I watch Lucha, I just... story, 110%.
Yeah, it's for me, I agree with you this week. I think the story, outside of the main event, the backstage story was better than the wrestling this week. I'll absolutely agree. But for me, it switches from week to week. There's some weeks where the wrestling is phenomenal and the story takes a little bit more of a backseat. And there's weeks where, like this week, where the story was great and the wrestling took a little bit of a backseat. Again, absolutely no disrespect to anybody that stepped foot in the ring except for Jack Evans because he sucks. But it was just one of those weeks where the story really, really surpassed the wrestling. And especially with that opening segment. Like, we've all seen the wrestler get attacked with a chair and can't keep wrestling and has to give up a match 1,000,000 times. We've all seen it 1,000 times. But they did it because it's Lucha Underground in a way that was so different, and it worked. And the fact that it showed it from Dragon Azteca's point of view, and you can see his eyes slowly starting to dim out as fucking he just couldn't keep matching. So the only question I have is, was this just a story to promote along, or was Dragon Azteca injured and this was their way of covering? Also, really tripped me up that Ray called another human being a piece of shit. Because
no, that was later on. That's later on.
We'll get there with it, but we'll get there. I thought it was right about here. I guess it was a little bit later on because I watched this last night and unfortunately didn't get to take any notes. But yeah, I thought it was like, we've all seen the story 1,000,000 times, but Lucha Underground made it interesting again.
Yeah, and apologies though I was getting changed there. I'm in my bloody dressing gown. It's so cold. It was literally, I came in here and it was pissing down with rain, and I completely forgot my washing was outside. So I'm like, shit. Shit on it. But I did enjoy the opening segment. We'll get to the opening match. We had Famous B and Dr. Wagner Jr. versus Son of Havoc and Masquerita Sagrada. Fuck yes, I got all 4 names right.
Way to go. You get a brownie point.
Havoc and Masquerita had one of the best entrances I've seen in a very long time, with the motorbike and the little car on the side. So that was bloody brilliant. Havoc and Masquerita, they do double dives to the floor to start us off. Only Lucha Underground can Masquerita Sagrada come across as a believable opponent.
Yeah,
legit. And when you watch him, you don't think of him as a midget or a dwarf or a very small man. You think of him as an equal, a wrestler. I talk a lot about Lucha Underground, about not liking the women and men physicality when they join together. I really don't like that. But with the midgets, and I don't, what's the technical, politically correct term to what you call these people? I'm sure
it's like a short person or vertically challenged, but just say midget. No one cares. My best friend's 4'6", and I call him a midget all the time, so we'll just go with that.
So if anyone has a problem with me calling him a midget, send the hate mail over your way. He comes across as a believable guy, and he has character, and that's what I love about everyone on this show. They all have characters. Havoc got the hot tag. Havoc is so underrated. Like, he's legit in like my top 10 Lucha Underground wrestlers, at least in my like maybe number 8. Like, he's so underrated.
I mean, that's where I disagree, because I'm not a big Son of Havoc fan.
See, who says when people do shows together they agree? Like, so far we've already disagreed on midget wrestling, women wrestling, and who we like. Oh, why don't you like him?
It's just, I don't know. I've never been terribly impressed with him. I mean, it's not to say he hasn't had good matches and I haven't enjoyed him. There's very few, if any, wrestlers on Lucha Underground that I don't enjoy watching, and I'm excited when I see them. Even I'm excited when I see Son of Havoc, but he's just not quite there for me. I'm not a huge fan of the character, like the whole biker open road thing, and I think my biggest issue is that, to me, all his matches are the same. He does the same thing. Today was a little different, but he does all his matches the same.
That's true. That is one true. I enjoy, even though he does the same thing every match, I still enjoy it. It's like the Usos if they were good. No, fuck the Usos.
Fuck the Usos.
We're not
even talking about fucking WWE.
Dude, I hate on it when I'm asleep. I'm like, I'm there like, fuck you, Vince. Fuck you, Vince. Like, I'm having nightmares thinking of watching Monday Night Raw. Generally, Jesus. We're so lucky. Read lots of fucking WWE shows, you lucky son of a bitch. Dr. Wagner hits the Michinoku driver or Masquerade Sagrada to get the win. This is literally like Famous B's first win. I think, didn't he say his first ever win?
Yeah, I don't think he's ever wrestled. He's probably wrestled before. He's never wrestled in Lucha Underground, for sure. I didn't even know he was a wrestler. I thought he was just a manager.
I've seen him once in Hollywood Championship Wrestling. I used to be called something else. I don't know what it's called now. I didn't really rate him much, and I didn't really rate him much on this. I hated the fact he wore that stupid suit. I just wanted to fucking rip it off. Not in a gay way. That's the only people in the world. Oh, take that suit off, take it off. It was a fun opener. Like I said, I hated it at the start of the show. I didn't hate it. It was fun. It did its job. It carried the story on.
Yeah, it's building up the rivalry between these four men, which we'll see a blow off here eventually. And again, like you said with Sagrada, only in Lucha Underground can he be a believable opponent. And even though me and you really aren't the biggest fans of the mixed gender matches, because it's Lucha Underground's universe, and they've done since day one of making you realize this world isn't your world, it's the Lucha Underground world. And in that world, these things can be believable. So you can believe that a woman can beat a man and overcome it. You can believe that Sagrada, even though he's 3 foot shorter, can potentially carry his own in some of these matches. And that's the magic of Lucha Underground, and the promoters and the showrunner absolutely deserve more than their lion's shares of credit for that feat.
It's really weird coming on and giving credit to writers. I'm not used to that feeling. It's going to take me some time. It's going to take some time to adjust. Striker and Vampiro, they announced that next week it's Dario's Dial of Doom plus Prince Puma versus Mil Muertes. Looking forward to
that's going to be fucking sweet.
Who do you reckon's going to get the Dario's Dial of Doom?
That I absolutely could not call, just because of the nature of it. Even though, like, if you watch how that thing spins, it's definitely rigged. So they're choosing who they want, but I genuinely have no idea who it could be.
And see, that's the great thing. Like, if there's WWE, will be like, okay, it's going to be either him, or him. With Lucha, it could be him, her, that dwarf, him.
That thing. Like, you have no idea.
Let me go on to a match that I was very depressed when I saw was announced, and that's the Gift of God's title match, Sexy Star versus Jack Evans. Now, I don't like Sexy Star. I think I'm maybe the only human being alive who doesn't like Sexy Star. I think she's overrated. She is. She's overrated. And
I don't disagree with you that she's overrated. She might be overrated. I still like her, but I think she might be overrated.
She's very overrated. She's like Dean Ambrose overrated. She's the Dean Ambrose.
I don't know about all that. No, that might be fighting words now, brother. I don't know. That's pretty rough. Them's fighting words.
Oh, well, Jack Evans, he just does flip, flop, and fly for no reason. Like we just sat through 2.5 hours of CMLL, which is basically Lucha Libre, just flip, 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 flip.
Yeah.
And if you combine every single flip we saw in that whole show, you will get a average Jack Evans match.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. It's like
there's no purpose.
Yeah, like if you were to make a dial, like a little meter, like in your car, called like the JFM, that Jack flip meter, I don't know, and just took like an average of how many flips he does per fucking minute in a match, that shit would be redlining the entire time.
Even when he bumps, he flips. Even when he fucking bumps. Oh god, I
was. You have no idea how happy I was, and I was like, I hate Jack Evans. And you're like, really? And then you said, I saw your brain lurking for just a second. And you're like, yeah, he does suck, doesn't he? That shit made me legitimately happy.
Because I'm not used to people saying they don't like Jack Evans, because he doesn't normally come up in conversation. So and when you actually sit down and think about it, and it was like, okay, you don't like him. Why doesn't he like him? And then the light bulb ticked that, oh, that's why. I get it now. I hate this women versus men thing. I just feel uncomfortable. And I understand if you don't have an issue with this. Like, I generally 110% understand if you think this is okay and acceptable. What I do is just, I will never, ever in a million years happy to watch a man hit a woman. Never. I will never, ever watch that. I don't care if it's a film. I'll boo the film. I'll give the film hate. I do not like watching a male putting his hands on a female. But then again, equal rights equals equal fights. So with that being said,
I'm really on the fence about it, because again, like the whole like talk shit, get hit. If you want to act like, if you want to get in there with a man, he's going to treat you like a man, and I completely respect that. If you want it to be on the same level as men, then be on the same level as men, and that's super cool. But it's really hard, and this is probably why it's the same for you. It's really hard for me to ignore my upbringing, where I was brought up as your traditional Southern gentleman. You respect women, you don't touch women, anything like that. And so it's just really hard for me to get over that if I'm watching these matches. And most of the time I don't, because it makes me feel really uncomfortable. And it's not to be like, oh, you're fucking cisgendered piece of Tumblr shit, whatever. We're not saying that. I'm completely cool with the fact it personally just makes me really uncomfortable, but it's still wrestling, so I can look past it.
Yeah, I try my hardest. I just still find it uncomfortable. The match ends when PJ Black comes out. He distracts. Mundo hits a spear on Sexy Star. Pretty decent near fall. Aerostar and Drago come out to make the save. They beat on PJ and Mundo. Star hits a kendo stick to the dick and a swinging neckbreaker kind of thing to get the win. Considering I hate both, I enjoyed it a fair amount. The booking made this a lot more enjoyable than if there was no run-ins. This would have been wank. This would have been pure wank, but the run-in saved it.
The run-in saved it. The telling of the story that is here, and because, man, I got really out of focus there for a second. The telling of the story that was there with Dario continuously fucking Johnny Mundo, which is a point I'm going to make here in just a second. The story made it better. But there's been bad matches in Lucha Underground. Don't get me wrong. As much as I am like a Lucha Underground and a Lucha guy, I have a fucking tattooed on my skin. There are bad matches in Lucha Underground, but most of the bad matches still have such good storytelling around them that you don't really care. So, by the way, what the fuck was PJ Black wearing?
Was he wearing anything? He was wearing like trousers and I don't know.
I'm hoping he was wearing pants, because I swear to God, like here's what I saw in my head, because I watched it with one of my roommates. When he came out. In my mind, it was like he was in the shower right before, and then someone came in and was like, dude, you got to make a run in. So he just grabbed a fucking T-shirt and hauled ass. Like, that was all I could think of. Because that's what it looked like.
You're probably right there. I mean, it wasn't bad. I didn't enjoy it, but I don't enjoy men versus women. So if you are like fine with that, you may enjoy that. I just can't look past it. No matter how long I've tried this, it's 3 seasons now, and I still can't surpass it. I don't think I ever will be able to.
I don't think I can either. It just makes me so uncomfortable. Like, absolute more power to these women. I will respect them, and I will give you all the fucking props in the world, and hell, I will help you get these matches if that's what you want. But it's just so fucking hard for me to watch.
And especially, like, you've got a kid. So if your kid sat there watching it, and you're telling him and bringing him up that, look, you should never lay your hands on a woman, and then you're seeing the, wrestling, and they don't know it's, predetermined, and they're seeing a man hit a woman or pull her by the hair, they're thinking, oh yeah, cool, let's try that in the playground. If they're with boys, and they're pretend fighting, that's different. But when they're going to girls, then, and like put in their hair, you could get in serious shit for that.
Exactly, and that's a point I've absolutely made before.
Jesus Christ, I'm in my late teen years. I'm 19. I'm meant to be immature, and there's me coming on moaning about men on women violence. They call me granddad for a reason. Literally at work, they call me granddad. They even bought me a fucking walking stick. I think I got it.
That's fucking awesome.
Dude, look, they call me granddad. They walking stick.
That's great. It just like clearly I'm much more mature nowadays. I'm kid, manager, fucking professional, dad mode all day long. When I was your age, I was not mature. Ask Booms. I was a piece of shit. I was just breaking sorority girls' hearts all day. Like I had mono for a week and didn't know it because I was that drunk all the time. But those days are behind me.
So he thinks. Well, to be honest, I reckon watching Raw every day of the week, I reckon he could be how to turn a man to an alcoholic.
Make him watch Raw every week.
Make him watch Raw every week. So if you see me come on here when my beard grows out a bit here, no, I've been watching Raw too much. Then we go to Darrow's office. Chavo wants to replace Dragon Azteca as Azteca was injured earlier on in the show. Ray comes in and just shouts, "I want that piece of shit." Yeah, hey, you're meant to be the role model for like these little 10-year-olds, and you're on national TV.
That shit threw me all. Like, I have legit been watching Rey Mysterio since I was like 7 years old. So he's just always been, he's Rey fucking Mysterio. And he comes in there fucking like he owns a place and calls him a piece of shit. It's like a part of my innocence died. Like, that's when I knew childhood was over, was 2 things. I knew childhood was over when Rey Mysterio called somebody a piece of shit, and the day I knew I had to die. Like, that's how you know childhood is over and life is meaningless.
Oh, it was really good, though. And then they do this kind of brawl sequence, and then Dario is saying, Pentagon's already in the ring. Let's just fucking make it a freeway. Dario is the star of this show. Like, he is the... We say this every week, but whatever money they're paying him, double that, and you're still not even triple it. You're not even close to how much the guy should be on.
Oh god, no, because he takes his part so fucking seriously, and you could tell because he doesn't fucking phone anything in. He approaches that part like any big Hollywood star approaches a Oscar-nominated part. He does not fucking turn it off. Like, he is Dario Cueto. I have no idea what that actor's name is. No, he's Dario Cueto. No.
If you ever see him in any other film, it'll be Dario Cueto. Yeah,
it's Dario Cueto. My name is Emil Manuel. I'm like, okay, Dario, that's whatever you say. We've got your 1980s fan club, Dario Cueto. You don't have to call me by my full fake name. Thank you, Dario Cueto. But, all right, whatever.
That led us to the main event. We had Pentagon Dark versus Ray versus Chavo. Before the match, Dario comes out and tells everyone about the freeway because obviously he was in the office when it all happened. The match was pretty damn good. And Chavo, Chavo's very underrated. And I talked about some of
always has been.
Like, I cannot name a bad Chavo Guerrero match.
I'm sure.
He reminds me of... Yeah. And a big comparison I would call Chavo is I would call Kurt Hawkins, Brian Miles, what the fuck you want to call him, 2016. He goes out there, he does nothing spectacular. He just does nothing wrong. He's bland. He's basic. Chavo's the same. He does nothing spectacular. He just goes out there. He works a smart match. He's good psychology. He's a bit brutal. He has a good character. That equals a good pro wrestler in my book.
Oh, yeah. And you might hate me for this, but hear me out. Because again, he doesn't have bad matches. His bad matches are still good wrestling matches, but he doesn't test the waters like so many wrestling fans or wrestlers do nowadays, because that's what you have to do to get the pop. But him, and he's talked about this before, him and Randy Orton work a very similar style. Randy Orton, 9 times out of 10, isn't going to try anything new. He's not going to risk anything. But Randy Orton's going to put on a hell of a fucking match every single night. Like clockwork. I'm sure there are bad Randy Orton matches. I'm sure there are bad Chavo Guerrero matches. But you're hard-pressed to find them, because they are going to go put on a good wrestling match. Period.
Wow. Emotional here. It's getting really touchy. This may be the only show in the world where we're actually promoting Chavo Guerrero and Randy Orton in the same sentence.
Yeah, just think about that for a second.
Just
not even
let
on
that
the same
sink in.
fucking show. Just let it out. And one of the big points I want to make out of this match before we get to like any of the particular spots, because there were some great spots, I don't like the term tweener. And it gets used too often on too many people that are not tweeners. I love Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is my favorite wrestler in the entire world. People are like, oh, he's a tweener. I'm like, no, he's not. He's a heel that gets cheered. So people are like, oh, he's a tweener. Roman Reigns is kind of a tweener. Like, no. He's a baby face that gets booed. And that's the case 99 times out of 100. I can only think of 2 people that I can genuinely call a tweener. Stone Cold Steve Austin and Pentagon Jr.
Yeah, I mean, Pentagon Jr. is really a heel if you look at it. Like, even though the crowd cheer him, he's a heel.
He's a heel, but he will still do things to help other people sometimes. Like, even like in the beginning of season 2 when he broke Mill's arm. Like, yeah, that was a bad thing to do, but he helped Prince Puma. He overcame adversity in season 2 to become Super Prince or Super Pentagon Jr., even though he did attack Vampiro afterwards. Like, so there was a redemption hero's journey there, and the crowd loves him. And they're going to be behind him no matter what. They're never going to boo a single fucking... He packaged pile drive fucking Rey Mysterio, the king, and the crowd cheered for him. That's one of the reasons I say that he's a tweener and not a heel.
I mean, you could say that, but I don't like... I think with Lucha Underground, there's kind of not really heels or baby faces. Like, it really... Because it's like a book. You know, sometimes they do good things, sometimes they do bad things. Rey Mysterio, the good guy, went into the boss's office, demanded something rudely, and called his opponent a piece of shit.
True. And I have the
never let that die.
No, I'll never. I will take that to my grave and be like, you know, he was a great man. He was a great father. He tried really, really hard. He worked his ass off. He always promoted this. But the day he died was the day he found out Rey Mysterio called somebody a piece of shit. But I'll have to eat my own words on that, because I think on like my very first Lucha Underground review I ever did, maybe my second one, I said that Lucha Underground doesn't have baby faces and heels. They have heroes and they have villains and they have anti-heroes. If you want to put it into comic book terms, Pentagon Jr. is the Punisher. He's not a good person by any means, but he's not a bad guy either, because he'll take on the bad guys. I have a feeling at some point in time in this season, because I told you like one of the big... It didn't do it in this episode, but one of the big ongoing themes is recruiting people for the war. I have a feeling there's going to be a battle over who gets Pentagon Jr.
I think he's going to end up picking the good side, and then he's going to be the biggest babyface and Lucha Underground champion.
I hope so. God, I hope you're right.
I loved when Pentagon hit the lung blower into the monkey flip. That was nice. Rey with that running corkscrew over the top to the floor was nice. Pentagon with a package pile driver to get the win. I was pretty shocked that he did it over Rey. I was expecting Pentagon to win, but I was like, okay, they're going to do Pentagon. Chavo is the sacrificial lamb in this to set up a Pentagon versus Dragon Azteca, maybe Pentagon Rey. But I was so shocked. I was like, fuck. And I liked how the commentary made it seem like a big fucking deal.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, like, Rey's already beat him once this season. And again, every episode I give kudos to the announce team, because I think it's the best announce team in wrestling, truth be told. Even though, you know, shout out to ROH and those guys, the Vampiro and Max Striker are my boys. But when he hit it, I was like, oh my God, he's going to fucking win. It's nice to see a package pile driver. It's one of my favorite moves in wrestling. And they're scary as shit, but it was awesome. And then on Rey Mysterio, who's like the most beloved wrestlers on one continent on 2 different countries. Like, he's the king. And I was really happy to see that. And like you said, they did a great job making it seem like, holy fucking shit, he did this to him.
Dude, either you're cutting or I'm cutting. Can you hear me right now?
I can hear you now. Did you cut out on me for a sec?
Cool, that's weird because you cut out me. Who knows? Either way, one of us are fucked. I literally heard nothing that you said. I heard nothing. Shit. I heard.
Oh, there you went. You cut out on me again. So we might lose LK, ladies and gentlemen. There you are. You came back.
Strange. Because I actually went on a little thing saying about how I didn't hear a word you just said. That was really... If it's either my audio or your audio will not sync, and it's going to be fucking hilarious. Right. They'll be there like hearing both, like, oh.
What the fuck's going on?
Then after the match, Pentagon tries to break Rey Mysterio's arm, but Rey escapes. Chavo then beats on Rey using the chair on him on the left knee, shouting, "Do you remember this?" Which I really liked because it was alluding to SmackDown from 2006 where he hung him up, didn't he, on the Titantron and kept pounding his leg. He did it as well to the ref, Marty Elias. He pounded Marty Elias and then he did it again to Rey's leg. Heel Heat ends the show. I want to see Rey kick the shit out of Chavo Guerrero now. I want to see Rey kick the shit out of Chavo Guerrero. How are you going to do that? You're going to have to keep on watching week to week.
It's
simple.
God damn, this show is great. It really fucking is. Like, it's just simple shit that makes you want to watch next week. And mind you, we were already going to watch next week because earlier in the episode they said, hey, Ultima Lucha rematch next week, Mil Muertes, Prince Puma. You've got my fucking money there. Like, if I had to buy this on iTunes, I'd fucking buy it. Mind you, I'm getting it. But yeah, like, you want to see Rey Mysterio, the King, beat up that fucking fuck of Chavo Guerrero. And another thing they did in this match, and it's just because I have a degree in history, so I love history so much, is that they showed, and Vampiro talked about it, the history between the two families. And the go away. And the like the tension between the two families, and like even like the old school poster that was in the back of the locker, just shit like that. I fucking love.
Yeah, I think this was a good episode though. Like and to summarize, and we will get to live comments, but to summarize, good episode. Recommend the main event. You will absolutely want to see Rey kill that piece of shit Chavo Guerrero.
Childhood's over, man. It's over.
It's over. Literally, there's going to be so many memes like walking around like, "Oh, how are you? I'm okay, you piece of shit." Why are you calling me a piece of shit? Mysterio said it. Rey Mysterio said it.
I learned it from Rey Mysterio, Dad. Uh-oh, did you cut out on me again? Uh-oh. We're going to give it 3 seconds to see if LK comes back.
I'm back. I'm here.
There you are. Okay.
This is strange. This is really weird. This has never happened to us before. This is
new. I'm going to cut my video just to see if that helps too. Okay, we'll just go to straight audio, ladies and gentlemen.
Straight audio. This is what the VIP. See, that if you could only download this on your mobile, it'd be VIP. Let's imagine that when you're at work having a wank, preferably not over us. We get a live comment, so we have So I go through a show, okay, where I don't slaughter anything verbally.
And then the first name.
The first name comes up. It's Noah Lara, or No Lara, or Noe Lara.
Yeah, close enough.
So it says Mickie James versus Asuka NXT TakeOver Toronto. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, if that was a spoiler, but everyone in the internet knows.
Really? I haven't watched NXT yet, but that's my fault.
Oh no! It was they announced it on the W's the W Twitter and everywhere. Like it's all over the place.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a match that, honest to God, I don't think I want to see because I was never a big Mickie James fan.
Wow, you weren't a fan of, what was it, Laycool called her, Miss Piggy? What was that bullshit?
I don't even remember.
Oh, you're lucky then. Mickie James, Asuka could be good. I reckon they'll have Mickie James beat her. That's what scares me. She's not from Toronto, so I don't really get it, but who cares? Who cares? It's NXT. That was a bit cool.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of NXT. I didn't enjoy this week's very much. I'll be honest.
Really, it's so hit or miss. Like, I love the pay-per-views that NXT does. Sorry, Ring of Honor. Sorry, TNA. Sorry, WWE. NXT's pay-per-views are the best pay-per-views in wrestling. And NXT arguably has one of the best rosters, like period. They're awesome, but just the weekly episodic TV show for the last year has not been up to par. It used to be great. I don't know what it is. It's just not up to par anymore.
It's weird. Really fucking weird. And then in the comment of the night from Heavy J Ray, he puts, if you build a general manager from the ground up, you get Dario Cueto.
Can we make t-shirts that say that, please? That is the fucking best thing I've ever heard.
That's absolutely brilliant. So we have a new t-shirt saying Rey Mysterio, you piece of shit. And we also have, if you build a general manager from the ground up, you get Dario Cueto.
God, that is brilliant. Oh, man. Oh, okay. There are a couple notes I want to add in comment time, just some things I wanted to bring up since it says Lucha Underground. If you haven't yet, this week on the Sam Roberts podcast, he posted the panel that he did at New York City Comic Con with Lucha Underground. And some couple cool fucking notes came out of there. One of them is that they are absolutely, it's going to take a little time, they're absolutely coming up with more merchandise, with wrestler-specific merchandise, and other things that aren't just t-shirts and hats, which is cool. The big, big, big news, though, is sometime soon, and they're working on the details right now, Lucha Underground will be a touring brand.
Oh, that'd be interesting. That'd be very interesting.
I'm so torn in one way, because what they're thinking about doing is recording for 5 months and touring for 7 months, and they're only going to go to select cities and such. Here's the scary thing that I see. As much of a hardcore Lucha Underground fan that I am, how are you going to do Lucha Underground anywhere else but the Temple? Because the Temple is such a part of the character that is Lucha Underground.
No, you see, they did a house show, didn't they? I think it was a year or two ago. And I thought it looked pretty decent.
Are you sure? I haven't seen anything.
Yeah, I promise you they did a show. I literally promise you they did a show, and it was fine.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's the characters you want to see. You know, even if it's not the Temple, they can still make it look dark and gloomy. And then, you know, it could be like a fight night where they're fighting in a tournament for $2,000. You could do something like that. That'd be brilliant. I'd, if they came to England, I'd definitely go out of my way and see it.
Oh yeah, like if they come anywhere within 2 or 3 states of me, I'm gonna go see it.
It'd be bloody brilliant. I just booked tickets yesterday now for ICW, Insane Championship Wrestling. I'm going to be going to that.
Oh, nice.
Sunday, or no, it's a Saturday, the 29th of October. So in a few weeks, looking forward to going there with a few friends, and it's 18 plus only. So kids, you can't come in, which means I can get as pissed as I want. Anything else? Any other notes?
That's pretty much it. Oh, okay. We got one more comment that popped up. It's from TJ Amars. If I said your name wrong, I'm super sorry. Blame LK, even though I'm the one that said it. He says, "Hey, LK and Sammy, you guys know that Angela Fong, who plays Black Lotus, is pregnant. Lucha Underground is disappointed because they had big plans for her season 4, especially having her in the ring matches." I'm sure they're disappointed, and because I'm sure she was going to be part of this whole war that's coming, but she became such an non-important character at the end of season 2 that I think they wrote themselves off in a perfect way, where if they wanted to bring her back and make her important, they totally could. But they could have just fucking let her drift off into obscurity and it would work just fine.
They're angry because she's pregnant. Wow. At least they're not going to do a WWE and fire her. Like they fired that bird from Tough Enough. They fired her because she was pregnant. How brutal is that? You're fired. Why? You're pregnant.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Can't I just be a whore on Total Divas and they can watch me?
Speaking of whores and Total Divas and people that are about to lose their job, Paige is pretty much out the door.
Dude, she's out the door. She's literally looking from the outer rim. Like, what is she doing? Like, I don't like her anymore. I've lost
Me either.
I see pictures of her float online. She looks like a cokehead or a crackhead. She really does.
She's lost a lot of weight. She doesn't look as healthy as when she first showed up. And then I just lost a lot of respect for her when she decided that it was easier to be a diva than be a women's wrestler. And that was the end of it.
And what makes it worse is her character before was the anti-diva. It's just kind of a kick in the balls.
Yeah, isn't it though? It sucks. So one last note I'll make is apparently NXT, either the taping today or the taping yesterday, it is official. Roderick Strong is in NXT. And
for people moaning about spoilers, it was all over WWE's Twitter, all over WWE's Facebook, all over Triple H's Twitter, all over Triple H's Facebook, all over WWE's website. It was everywhere.
Yeah. It's everywhere. This much like with the Samoa Joe taking the belt off of Finn. This is hasn't been televised yet, and I wish they would have kept the secret, even though it would have been near impossible because of the audience. This shit's everywhere. You're gonna fucking see it.
Yeah, and the scary thing is, the really fucking scary thing is, last week I did a Dusty Rhodes. I booked the whole entire Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic for NXT. The whole entire thing. No word of lie. Literally, if you do not believe me, everyone...
Uh-oh. I lost you again.
I had Austin Aries and Roderick Strong teaming up as Team Aries.
Yeah. I mean, that's...
So you guys now know that Triple H is a VIP member, so you should go sign up too.
Clearly. This is... we are predicting the future, ladies and gentlemen.
CML.
Uh-oh. I'm losing you again.
Oh, dude, you're joking. Am I back now?
Okay, you're back now.
Cool. Right, so subscribe, OK VIP, 99 pence a month, about nearly 50 shows already uploaded, and it's been around, 2 weeks? That says it all. CMLL reviews coming shortly. We're about to... We're breaking up right now, so I'm just going to get this done quick. Buy Dave Koco's book from Operation Freakshow from Amazon.com. Links in the description box below. Crazy night here. The internet's bullshit, maybe because of the weather. Make sure everyone out there, make sure you all stay safe. Make sure you all stay well. And we'll be catching your asses down the line.